Money boy, money boy, money boy, trade, money boy, money boy, money boy, trade,
Private jet flights overseas, damn piece.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Toxic Masculinity Show. I'm your host, MONEYBOY Trey. I'm here with Sigi Tolo, and tonight we want to know if the black woman is God. Strange concept, because when I first heard it, I was blown away. But you know who I heard the concept from? This man right here. So who else better to give you the same information that helped change my life than the man himself? So with that being said, Sigi, light the way. The floor is yours.
What it do? What it do? It's your man Sigi Tolo, Third Eye Live TV Radio, Angels for Mental Health Broadcast Network. You can catch me on YouTube at Third Eye Live TV Radio, Third Eye Live TV Radio. Also, you can catch me on there at Sigi Tolo. So yeah, as far as the black woman is God, to me it's a apologies. To me, it's an easy concept only because I've studied so much over the last 7-8 years. 7 to 8 years. I've studied so much. It led me to that understanding. It's not something that I always knew. It's not something that I always understood. But through so much research, yes, my mind has finally developed towards maturity and the truth. And it's pretty obvious. It's common sense for me at this stage, but I'll try to help explain it as best I can, so that people can understand it.
That's a simple enough concept. Like I said, I heard it from you, and the concept blew my mind, and it's stuck with me ever since.
Well, it's a good day to talk about it because it's 11/11/2020. My new album just hit everywhere, hit available everywhere from iTunes to Spotify to YouTube, where you can listen to it for free. Just Google search Sigi Tolo Topic. You can play the whole album for free. It's everywhere. CD Baby, Slacker, all of it. iHeartRadio. So, and my album is dealing with the restoration of the throne. And the restoration of the throne simply means the woman being in her proper place, which is at the head of it all. She's the Godhead. She's the original Godhead, the original everything, the original interpretation of divinity, anything divine, anything that is seen as pure, just the all, the good and evil, everything all in one is considered what we know as the woman, also known as the womb man. So it gets tricky. It gets tricky with the language, with the wordplay, but if you break it in and break it out, I like to say prism break, a breakout of light, from the prism, not, the prison and the prism is the same thing. So it's a prism break, prison break, we're getting up out of it. All the light is getting free. So from that metaphysical perspective, as I just cut up with y'all a little bit, yes, I'm going to break this in and out and show y'all that it's pretty easy to see that the quote unquote black woman is the all, and that's AKA also known as God. I should say also the all, also known as the creator force energy. That's the AKA, and the BKA, better known as God. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So in your step, what was the first thing that took you down the path to understanding that God was a woman? Because as it's well known, all they talk about in the Bible or in religion is man, 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 man. In fact, I told the guy last night on the stream that the Holy Trinity sounds like some homosexuality shit. I'm like, it's just three dudes in this thing that y'all talk about. Something don't seem right with it.
Oh, you cutting up, money boy. That's some of that. That's some of that base level energy, right? That's some of that base level energy, like meaning like boom, 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 boom. That's that heartbeat, right? That heart chakra, boom, 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 boom. That base level energy. So, oh man, when you let's just talk about the Holy Trinity, right? The Holy Trinity, as we know it today, it stands as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit or Holy Ghost. Now, Father seems like a male energy. Son seems like a male energy. So it seems like, and Holy Spirit or Holy Ghost seems like a neutral energy. Like we don't know if that's man or woman or father or son. I mean, father or daughter. I mean, apologies, son or daughter, father or mother. So it has no gender. But we know that Father has a gender, male. Son has a gender, male. So we know in our Trinity, which is 3, 2 of them are males. So what's the third? Let's say unknown. Let's be fair. The third is unknown. The Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit is unknown gender. So 2 men and an unknown gender. So is there a concept? Is there a scenario where you could speak to teenagers on the block and explain to them how the unknown gender could be also a male? And they would be like, yeah, of course, there's only 2 genders. The unknown one could be a male. So if it could be a male, would that make 3 males?
I got it. The Holy Ghost is transgender.
The Holy Ghost is transgender. Transgender means it's a crossover gender. It could be any gender. It started off as one gender, changed into another. Started off as another gender, changed into another. It represents androgynous. It represents hermaphrodite, meaning it's all, it's both, it's everything, right? It's 2 in 1, which is the none. All right, so look, all I'm saying is to the teenagers, if you ask them to choose, well, father and son is both male, and you're talking to teenagers on the block, and you're like, well, choose the third. Since it's unknown, we want you to say, is it male or female? Some of them would say male, some of them would say female. Now, we would disregard the ones that say female just to make a strong point. When the ones that said male, now we've actually hit 3 males. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost seen as the male. That's 3 males. Now that's where I think MONEYBOY said, this sounds like an agenda, perhaps a homosexual agenda. Because now we got 3 men as the Holy Trinity. Where is our mother? Where is the woman? Where is the balance? Now, let's say some of those jitterbugs, as they're known down here in the South, teenagers or young people, would say, no, female. The Holy Ghost is female. Okay, well, we still have 2 males, father and son, and 1 female. That means male dominant. If we ask that same teenager, well, which wins? Is it more men or more women? They would say, well, it's still a male dominant trinity. 2 out of 3 is male, even if you make the Holy Ghost female. So that's a fraud. It's the true Trinity is Father, Mother, and Child. The child is the one that they try to turn it, meaning like the Holy Ghost concept, androgynous, it could be either one, is a child concept. Because when you first, are expecting child, you don't know whether it's going to be male or female, and you're kind of excited about finding out about which. But we know that there's a father and mother that made that child. See, this is supposed to be common sense, which happens to be track number 15 on the Light the Way album. You know what I'm saying? Common sense. It's talking about catching the consciousness, catching the common sense. You know what I'm saying? That's the Light the Way album. Y'all can get that. It's available everywhere today, officially. Online, available everywhere, like I mentioned previously. But this is an easy call. Father, mother, and child. We don't know what the gender of the child is going to be yet. You know what I'm saying? But just tying into the Black Woman is God, and I'll pass the mic to my brother Jarrell Jabray, Major Keys, MK Ultra. The bottom line is that we know it's mother, father, and child, and that child has the opportunity to be a male or a female. We know that to empower the woman, we go ahead organically and biologically and human anatomy and physiologically speaking, we know that all human being type of creatures start off as female. And then if they're going to be male, it's a further expression of self. You know what I'm saying? So they turn into males later on throughout the incubation process. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little bit of knowledge to jumpstart this thing.
I guess that would explain why I felt Well, I felt like tapping into my feminine side on this 11/11.
2020. Facts.
Major Keys, your mic is muted. You got to unmute your mic.
And I'm gonna mute mine because Major Keys actually happens to be in the same room with me right now. There you go. Major Keys. Oh,
Yeah, your mic muted. Still can't hear you. Y'all like, share, subscribe, and check me out, Money Boy Trey, on all social media. Go ahead, Major Keys. I can hear you now.
What's up, family? How you doing? I appreciate being on your show today,
Now, I'm trying
brother.
to give back to these beautiful black women today, since they feel like that I hate them. But even though when I was telling them they were God 2 years ago, they weren't really listening to me. They pay attention now that I done got on their ass. Now that I done papped them on their ass a little bit, they pay attention. So now I'm going to give back to their mental and uplift them and stimulate those senses on this 11/11.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm right there with you in that on that
Y'all
plight.
watching it back on some, put it down.
You gotta turn yours down a little bit. Yeah. So I'm definitely with you on that journey as far as elevating our women into their proper place, which is above us. Well, I mean, when we think about that, it's not passing a buck. It's really just realizing our reality for what it is. You know, going back to Big Mama. You know, when we think about the woman as God, we're not thinking about our peers. You know what I'm saying? Women our age, women we out here fucking around with. We're thinking about Mama. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, there's such thing as a Mother Earth or Mother Nature. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear a father anywhere in that. And that's not to degrade us. It's just for us to understand that you know, we're newcomers. We're recent. You know what I mean? Now we've been here for a long time, but we're still learning the ways of, you know, diplomacy and how to be slow to anger. You can tell we're still in our learning ages right now. But it's all about roles. Me and a brother was just talking about this earlier today, as far as you know, the man's role isn't to sit on the throne, sitting up in the palace, having motherfuckers drop roses and flowers and lay out the carpet in front of us while we walk. That's some woman shit. You
I
know what
don't
I'm
know.
saying?
Have you ever paid attention to lions in the wild? They just sit back and let the bitches do all the work.
You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree, because you know the lioness is so damn savage. You know, it's only so many things that needs to be taken care of anyway in the wild. But when it comes to the human, so-called, you know, arm, leg, arm, head, um, you know, us men, our main goal, I mean, our main purpose on this existence was security, you know, defense. Um, the man, the man was always um out and about, laboring in servitude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, when it comes to civilization and the city, the town, the women, you know, pretty much ran that, kept it in order, made sure, you know, all the what you call it, the medians and all the civil engineering looked all pretty, all this pretty ass architecture. You can't tell, you know, we need to know the work of a woman when we see it. You know, we went out and did it. They drew it up. You know what I mean? Just like today.
Okay.
The black. Go ahead.
I was about to say, explain the significance of, like, on a mosque, how it's dome shaped with the little, what some people would call a nipple.
Ooh. Hey, you just messed me up with that one, brother. You know, that, yeah, exactly. Thank you. It's like I knew that, but I never peeped until you just said it, bro. You just brought that. You just showed me something, bro.
Oh, you never
Exactly.
paid attention to that? I mean, I mean, you know, we do have all types of replicas of phalluses, so that always slipped our mind. Like we have the Washington Monument that's supposed to be like a phallus. It's plenty of so-called breast or nipples around the world, and for even in the Vatican, in Rome, everywhere.
And it's always a Capitol building. That's how you know how important the breast was. That breast on the top of that building. It's always the Capitol.
Yeah,
It's
the White House
always a,
got one.
it's always the government. Tallahassee right here. You know what I'm saying? All Capitol buildings where the governor, the state politics, you know what I'm saying, all go on that looks like a mosque with the breast on top. That's how we know, which is another conversation, that this country was built off of Islam because of all our capitals look like mosques. But like I said, that's another conversation.
No, it's not. It's all tied in into the black woman being God, because all religions do their best to subvert women. So
Absolutely.
don't blame me for saying put women back in the kitchen 2020. I get it from the Bible, women. Hate God. Don't hate me. Please, because I think y'all are God. And I don't mean y'all God by y'all. Well, actually, y'all can create. Y'all do by definition. Y'all do have a purpose and a part in creation of life. So therefore, you are a God. But I don't mean God by like you got these strange mystical powers. I mean that you are the creator of life. All life comes through you. All fuck shit starts and begins with y'all. Y'all co-sign, and if y'all say something ain't cool to men, guess what men ain't gonna do? The shit that y'all said ain't cool. So y'all like that's why I give y'all so much blame for the fuck shit that goes on in the community, because it's like y'all love the worst part of the black community from the black men.
Now it's a double-edged sword. This is the last thing I want to say. The last thing is, just like we're convincing, we're trying to convince the world, or let's say that we're convincing so-called our white brothers and sisters that we are the original on this realm. We have to deal with the same evidence of women being the original on this realm, as well as the leaders. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to convince white folks that you know what I'm saying, we're the original, we're the primes, the primordial, yada, 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 the chosen. You know what I'm saying? If white folks gotta accept that, us men have to accept that the woman is God, especially the black woman is God. That's what I mean is a double-edged sword. You know
That
what I
ain't
mean?
double-edged sword to me, because I judge all gods and I hold them all to a high standard. So if I can say the biblical God is an asshole, and then I can look at Allah and be like, Allah, you want some fuck shit. And if I can look at Yahweh and say, you want some fuck shit, I can tell the black woman she on some fuck shit too. No God is above no God is above critique on me.
Facts, fam. Can
I
y'all
mean,
hear me?
he wants you to question him. Yeah, we can hear you.
So yeah, that last point my brother just made was a strong point. And, excuse me, and I hear you going in too. See, when you get to understanding that first slave concept, that first servant, this is an easy common sense thing then to take it from there, as above, so below. Macrocosm, microcosm. The understanding is simple. All right, so the first slave, you get, we think black people was slaves, right? The most modern day slave we think is, let's say, black people, slaves from Africa brought over here to America. But we know that's like a dense expression. That's a like more accumulation of matter, of density, of material. It's further and further down the line. Whereas brothers will wake up and be like, hold on, these original Slavics these Slovenians and all this Slavic energy. There's a Slav. That's the slave. White people must have been the first slaves. And it's like facts. From that perspective, it's like, oh yeah. But then you go deeper. There's a time when so-called white people didn't exist. So it's like, who was the slaves then? Black people again. You're like, oh shit, black people slaving black people. You're like, oh shit, facts. But then it gets even deeper. There was a time when there was no such thing as these fake ass black people. It was just, everything was black. So there's no such thing as black people in that realm. So what is it? Eventually you'll get to man versus woman. And you'll see, well, who was the first slave? Men, males. So you're like, oh shit, this is deep. And then it goes even further beyond density. It gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter from sound, lighter and lighter. Like let's say we're going backwards, lighter and lighter and lighter. So matter is no longer matter. It's now sound vibration. Sound vibration is no longer sound. It's now pure light. Light is no longer anything. It's now pure darkness. So it becomes this whole realm of, well, damn, what's the original thing? The womb, pure darkness. The womb symbolizes pure darkness. So it's the womb, right? Well, what's the womb? That's the woman.
Oh.
So what is light? Light is the first slave. So what is light decoded as? Man, males, men. We are the first slaves. And once we figure it out, we are actually, unfortunately, in our low frequency, we're highly offended. Like anybody would be when you tell them they was a slave. Or you used to be a slave. Go try to tell the Slavics, you was the first slaves. Go try to tell just standard white people, you were the first slaves. Tell black people, nuh-uh, you were slaves. You were slaves. You were Hebrews. You were slaves. Nobody wants to be that slave. That's like, that's not my story. I've always been a king and a god, not a slave. You know, but this gets deep because of the offense taken when your gifts are not well received. Anybody ever gave you a gift and you didn't like it? You was like, man, y'all could have gave this shit to somebody else, man. I don't even want this shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it away to somebody else. So
no, I'm a grateful bastard.
Okay, that's rare.
I'm grateful. Not that I can recall.
So,
you said who?
So this is all about an illusion of light. An illusion. God said, let there be light. Our mother said, let there be light. Our mother said, let there be men. Let there be companions. Let there be servants. With a mission, with a purpose. The first creation, our mother's first creation. Light, men, her companion, males, to do her bidding. To do as told, to serve. And wow, I'm telling you, men have a major problem with this because we want to be the creators, but we're not. We're the first creation. We're the first creation. And that's a labor force energy. That's a workaholic. That's why our mother's designs proves it. If you do any repetitive work, energy and motion, if you do, that's what work is in physics. If you do any competitive work, repetitive work, energy and motion, you will get clumpy, big, muscular, strong, just by pure repetition, because your repetition is your reputation. We're built for this. When somebody says, man, I'm built for this, man, I'm fucking built for this, they're talking about men. We're the first building. We're the first structure, the first stature, the first status. That's why all buildings stand erect. You know what I'm saying? We're the first concept, the first con. We're the first illusion. Light is an illusion. It's 7 rays that equal infinity. It's the middle ground that equals infinity. The 1 through the 7 just represents the extremes, the duality.
You're starting to sound like Thanos, buddy.
No, I'm just saying, fam. This is facts. Thanos is the equivalent of Killmonger. Thanos is the same as Killmonger, energetically speaking. It's about balance in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Apocalypse, all is revealed. Facts. It's about balance in the universe. It's not the weapon, it's the wielder of the weapon that determines the balance. You know what I'm saying? It's not the weapon. I promise you, it's not none of the weapons formed against us. It's the wielder of it. So it gets deep, fam. It gets deep. But the bottom line is, men figured it out that they were the first slaves, and the bottom line is, men decided to usurp the throne. We all know about the usurp terminology, USURP. They decided to usurp the throne, our mother's true manifestation of self. The way she petrified others, and I'm going to pass the mic. The way she petrified others was by being herself seated where her son had to suckle and sickle from her being, whether it be her breast, her lap, you know what I'm saying? All these type of things, her belly, you know what I'm saying, forever attached to her belly button. You know, we have that mother complex where the detachment, you know, fright and fear of having to be on her own. Even the, and it's the last thing I'll say, even the lioness has to run her cubs off at times so that they live on, because when the marauder wins, do your research, and defeats the alpha and comes in to take the pride, he's going to kill all the cubs that are not his.
He's going to start his own family.
Because the woman ain't going to go in the heat as long as she got her cubs already. So he killed the cubs to force her to go in the heat and to have his cubs, because he's the titan. So she'll run her own cubs off.
Damn.
Run them off. She'll fight them. She'll fight them to run them off so they survive. And
all gods are assholes.
Oh man, all men are in the.
No, I'm talking about the female. They doing that. They like that.
See, the gods and the goddesses, it gets tricky.
They're not too far off from black women, because black women will put their kids out for some dick. And that's what the mama cub would do. She would pull her cubs out for some dick.
No, it gets deeper. But look, she'll throw her cubs out for survival of the fittest, and so that their DNA lives on. But look, when it comes to the gods and the goddesses, see, that's the Wonder Woman story. Our mother, see, they're the god. They create the gods. They're the creator force. Gods are a creation. God is AKA for light. See, the gods and the goddesses. The goddesses are the creators of gods. Gods can be destroyed because they were created. It just means that you can create a god killer. That's the Wonder Woman story. The god killer.
Unmute your mic.
All right, brother. I'm here, brother.
Go ahead.
So, just to add into what Brother Sigi was dropping, you know, every action done on this plane, every verb is a tribute to the mother goddess. That's why everything is a at the end, no matter what you're doing. Walker, jumper, runner, you know, every verb, every action is a tribute to mama, the even earth. You know what I'm saying? Even the word earth is a tribute to the mother. But just going in on what you were saying as far as so when there's a mass mind control going on, you know, when there's a mass spell, or when there's just mass control to be had by a particular outside force, outside emperor takes over a nation, whatever the case may be, they always tackle the mind of the mother, because if the mind of mama is controlled, everything that comes out of her is controlled automatically. I ain't gotta work that much. She's the factory. She's the goose that lays the golden egg. So I'm gonna attack her mind the most. I'm gonna get her gone. I'm gonna get her gone the most. You know what I mean? Because right now we woke. We can look back. We can see the whole. We can have the eagle eye view and see the whole thing for what it is, and we realize, damn, the so-called black woman is brain dead, literally gone in the head, shot. You know what I'm saying? You already know in the streets we call it, man, she shot out. You know what I mean? For real, for real. All she wanted is a nut. And that's her drug of choice. You know, catching a nut every day. You know what I mean? And the whole nation is deviant now. Everybody, that's all we care about. That's the big money industry. Because she's, uh, truth be told, she's the first actual slave. You know what I mean? Contrary, she's the first god, but she also became the slave, which is so fucked up. Like in Taken, you know what I'm saying? The white woman was the number one commodity. You know what I mean? It became that. I mean, it just always, it's kind of sort
She's
of
the
been
number
that
one
way.
commodity in Europe.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But when it came to, it's like a thin line. When it came to the deep knowledge of understanding of what they call it, ethnic cleansing, she was also the target. You know what I mean? She was also the target as far as bringing the whole humanity back to the primordial type of thing. You know, it wasn't white men having children with black women. That was a genetic impossibility not too long ago. It was mostly the original man impregnating the white woman. You know what I mean? That was, you know, a million times to one. You know what I mean? Um, as far as, like I say, creating other races, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. Anyway, that's just a science. Like that's in the adept chambers. They talk about that a lot when it comes to um, genetic modification and things of that nature.
Are you
Because we try
familiar with the fossil remains that they call Lucy?
somewhat, somewhat they keep dropping new information about that same fossil remain every year. So some new information come out about it. But yeah, for the most part, I am. Um,
Tell us
like I
about
said,
that. Since we're promoting the black woman being God, please tell us about
I
this.
mean the oldest fossils are women. Oldest fossils remains found on Earth
In
are women.
Ethiopia.
That's Lucy. But what's the other one they found in South America was older than her in Ethiopia. Lucia. I think they call her Lucia
I
in
didn't know
South.
about that one.
Yeah, they found one. They found one in South America. Old as shit. Older than one in Ethiopia.
And these are women's remains, not men.
Absolutely, exactly. And
So
they, like I
that's
say, they keep changing it, take it further and further how old the remains are. But
are they
we
older than 6,000 years?
absolutely,
So these bones predate the Bible.
absolutely. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
the Bible came out 1611, brother. What we call the Bible, 1611. Anything before 1611 ain't called the Bible. You know what I mean? But anyway, the black woman is God, man. Is but the thing about it is to get us out of this polar debate or polar perspective, woman and man, and get into the quantum understanding that even Mother Goddess, even the Mother Goddess had her male companion. You know what I mean? And then the Mother Goddess on the negative side, you know, on the adversarial side, you know what I mean? The Mother Goddess on the adversarial side also had a male companion, which brings four energies, you know what I mean, negative, positive, in two different vortexes, damn near. Which, like I say, just us basing our whole understanding. We was taught this from kids, you know, the mother goddess, the father god, and then on the adversarial side, you know, or we call the polar opposite. There's also a negative, positive energy as well,
We
and
weren't
now
taught about
it'll be
women.
much easier, huh?
Every depiction, I said, we weren't taught about women. Every depiction they had of women in the Bible was trash. They were prostitutes. They would get niggas in trouble. They were single
But,
parent moms like Mary that just
but
had
it was
Mary had to be the coldest female alive to get Joseph a nigga she ain't know to believe that that was his child.
Exactly.
And,
Think about that shit.
think about this. That would make God the first deadbeat dad. He just bounced on Jesus until that nigga was grown.
And
He
still
bounced.
turn and still turn his back on him on the cross. Talking about still
Faja.
look,
One of y'all got to mute y'all mic.
talking about some hey look, talking about some I can't even look on you, you got all that damn sin on you. You got all that damn sin on you. I can't even look at your ass, nigga.
I want to say something real quick. About something brother just dropped when he was talking about Lucy. See, this is when you get to how much you done researched. Because Lucy is a code word. That's a code energy. You
We
ever
listen.
seen the movie Lucy?
Yep.
Facts. So
Had the white woman in there, but it's
Right.
all good. Woman,
Right.
woman is woman. It's all good. They
Facts,
let Morgan Freeman shine.
the lowest white woman is higher than the highest black man.
Say that again.
The lowest white woman is still yet higher in the hierarchy than the highest black man.
That's the interesting perspective. Please expound.
Well, number one, women wombs are dominant in this society, in this realm, in this manifestation, this material realm. Woman is dominant. That's the plus sign. It holds two men, two negative signs, two negative signs equal to plus. One's perpendicular to the other. If you know your math, your sigils, your symbols. So the plus sign equals woman, which is the X chromosome, right? The mitochondrial DNA. Whereas the negative sign represents men, males, that first rod, that lightning rod, that thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort thee, companionship, servitude, thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort thee. Who's thee? The fucking creator, almighty great grand mega mother, the creator force energy that created all the rods. The rods are what determines life, manifestation, material, manifestation, manipulation. You understand? There's no life without our mother's first creation, us. You got to understand, darkness was bored with itself, the all. It wanted to experience itself times infinity. So you had to she decided to create these 7 rays of light that symbolize the same duat that we speaking on already. As above, so below, macrocosm, microcosm. First will be last will be first. That's the duat. Extremism, left, right, up, down, north, south, east, west. All illusions, all concept-based. There's only one true self. It's the center of it all. What's hidden, Amun, the center point, the point where 10 is Zen, sin is Zen, meaning when you understand good is evil is good, it's all the same. It's up to you. We've been fractured on purpose. On purpose. We've been fractured on purpose. On purpose. Try to divide your fingers from your hand. You can divide your fingers from a fist, but you cannot divide your fingers from your hand. The fist is a part of the hand, is an aspect of the hand. The fingers, no matter what they do, are a part of the hand. The hand is that constant. So the hand is your mother. The fist represents her symbol. Division. Multiplication is division. I just showed you 1 turn to 5. But it's really just 1. It depends on how I want to approach you. It's my perspective. It's singularity and multiplicity, all in one. All in one. All is one. All is mind. All is Kemet. You understand? It just keeps going over and over like a heartbeat, like a pulse. So it's a push. Every exercise is either a push or a pull. Contraction or a what's the opposite of contraction? A convection or some shit. Contraction or relaxation, whatever. You understand what I'm saying, fam? So let me make sure I'm clear. So Lucy was not triple dark chaos. Lucy was a hominid. Do your research. Lucy was a hominid, a hybrid. Lucy was actually created by our great grand mega mother, even if it came in the form of her rebellious rods and thy staff that no longer comforted her. Yakub and the other energies, Jacob and Jason, and all of them who rebelled against the throne. You know what I'm saying? Who decided that thy rod and thy staff will no longer comfort, but will rule and reign supreme. It's no different. It's no different than your mother teaching you everything you ever knew, and then you hold it in against her once you get big and strong and bad, and you say, you know what, Ma? It don't matter that you taught me that shit. I'm the living expression of it, and I will slap you in your motherfucking mouth. Mom, get your ass to your motherfucking room. I'll slap you. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, if it comes to some cooking or something, I might be like that. My recipe better than yours.
What you say, Money Boy?
I said, if it come to cooking or something like that, I'd be like that. Like, Mom, my recipe better than yours. You may have gave me the foundation, but I perfected this shit.
All I'm saying is that we're custom built for our mama, our literal. Shout out to my mother, Gabe Martin. She gone. But we custom built for our literal mother to slap us in the motherfucking mouth. And we say, what'd you do that for? You know what I'm saying? As opposed
my mama getting cussed out.
To taking her front teeth out is all I'm saying.
No, she get it. Current me, I said the sip me maybe. Current me, she getting cussed the fuck out.
Can your mama slap
that shit? No.
Can your mama slap you and get away with it?
I will call the police.
Hey.
Or she's gonna get cussed the fuck out.
Then all I can say is you need a little bit of this right here. Inner harmony.
She's got it all, but she can't get away with every goddamn thing. It's like, hold up, I'm a grown ass man. I'm a god myself.
The best you can do is, to me, is you would say, my mama tried to slap me, but it didn't work out. My body blocked it. You know what I mean? I blocked it. Because I used to block my Aunt Beachy. My Aunt Beachy tried to come knock me out one day, but I blocked it. Shout out to Aunt Beachy. Remember the first time I blocked it? Aunt Beachy, I was like, ha-cha, 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 ha-cha.
And they was ready to whoop you.
I no longer let the grown folks whoop my ass no more. You know what I mean? Ha-cha, 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 ha-cha. I wouldn't strike out at them and take their fronts home with me and on a necklace, and my aunts and uncles and loved ones, but I would block they shit. Ha-cha, 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 ha-cha. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pass the mic, man. Love y'all all day.
Unmute yourself. So tell us about women's leadership roles in Africa.
I can't tell you women's leadership roles in Africa. I can tell you women's leadership roles in ancient America.
Well, give us something. We're trying to just build towards the black woman being God. We're trying to help uplift some of these ratchet women out here that may they may want to change, and maybe they just need to hear a man say something strong and positive and uplifting to them. Because I heard this what they like.
Okay. When it comes to women's leadership, and I take that back, because the last 500 years, I would say you know, maybe some of the best leadership roles examples we could use for women would be in Africa, because you know we took a lot of our customs. A lot of our customs are preserved in Africa. Um, just to get a quick history overview, contrary to popular belief, um, there was a mass migration to Africa within the last 1,000 years. You know what I mean? So in Africa, we will find a true matriarchal society where the women are running things. So there are um, some indigenous examples of that in Africa. That's why I have to correct myself on that. Um, when it comes to women's leadership, the common sense approach would be, you know, they're the true nurturers of Earth. You know, they're truly the ones that can truly care. They're the only ones. They're the only ones that can truly care for a mass population of people. You know, mass population of children. Us men, you know, we can pretend like we care about other kids. You know, what I mean, we may care about, you know, other children that play with our kids, like on the same football team or basketball team. You know, we might invest a little time into them other kids' life if we the coach, or if one of our sons is a good player and they got a bunch of team friends that hang around. You know, truth be told, that's about the limit of our capability. But when it comes to a woman, they could genuinely care for kids that's not even theirs, that's not around them. Just a thought of children, a woman would genuinely, you know, care about, you know, the population. So they are natural leaders. They're the natural um, presidents and spokesmen and representatives for society. You know, that's their position. Ours, men, is like I say, to defend. You know what I'm saying? To secure, yada 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 yada. You know, not to be perched up on the throne, on the pedestal right next to them, wanting to compete with them. You know what I'm saying? That's not our position to want to compete with the feminine principles and the feminine roles. That's not our position.
No,
Our,
go
you
ahead.
know, no, I'm just saying our position is to build, defend, secure the plan. Make sure the plan, whatever the plan is, make sure that shit is executed. You know, to the most minute detail. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know, and we take honor and pride. They are the royalty. We are the nobility.
Mm,
All the gangster code passed down through the nobility.
Normally on the Toxic Masculinity Show, I would be utterly disgusted and refute and debunk everything you said. In fact, I have a show coming up soon, maybe this week, about who's the better parent, men or women. It's going to be 3 men, 3 women hashing it out. But this is about the black woman being God today. So everything you just said, it flies. Continue, my brother. Continue.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that, you know, the first major wars started between the queens. That's when we start getting to the nitty gritty. When did shit start falling apart? You know, first it was the queens started fighting amongst themselves,
So
women.
black women have always been violent.
Yeah,
I'm so, I'm sorry.
they didn't.
I
They
I'm sorry, y'all.
they was the rawest. They was the rawest. They showed us how to be violent, bro. Like bro Sigi was going in about Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? The amazing thing that's outside of our imagination is a nation full of women, or a woman's military full of badass women. You know what I'm saying? That whoop your ass. You know what I mean? That's a hard thing to imagine. You know what I mean?
So if Joe Biden died and Kamala Harris became president, do you think she would make a good president?
took me out. Do I think Kamala Harris? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
because
would
you
have
know,
been
if Joe
safer.
Biden
Let
dies
me
because
answer
he's
this question
old
real
as
quick.
shit, she would be the president.
Right. I'm not saying she's incapable, but all you can go by is somebody's track record, and what she did in California is a terrible reputation to have. Before I think that, before I go on record saying she would make a good president, she didn't make a good senator for niggas. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Again, for tonight's purposes, Kamala Harris is a fine, upstanding Indian, African American, Jamaican, British woman. She's all that. She good in my book for tonight's purposes.
I hear you. I hear you, bro. I ain't speaking down on the situation.
But I'll be honest though, I don't think America is ready for a woman president. That's why Hillary didn't win.
America's ready for it. America been needed it. It's just that the powers that be, they won't do it. They won't do it unless someone else controls it, because as much hate,
Logical men will not allow that shit to happen, nor will
as much
logical women.
this is the last thing I want to say, boss. This is the last thought I want to leave with the viewers, is that as much hatred as we think so-called black people get in the world, as much oppression we think we get, women are oppressed maybe 2 or 3 times more. All women.
You seriously gonna make? You gonna make me? I'm gonna be good tonight. You're right. You're right. Right on.
And look, have you seen the worst NBA players contract versus the best
Oh God.
WNBA versus the
Yes,
best W? I'm just saying, bro.
I
Just look
got you.
at that
I,
shit.
I got you, y'all. I couldn't hold it in no more. It's been almost an hour. I can't, nigga. Do you not realize that the WNBA has never made a fucking profit? So even the worst nigga on the NBA roster is help paying for these sorry fucking WNBA characters. And we talked about this last night. I don't know why they trying to force the WNBA characters into the NBA 2K game. If they so fucking popular and they want to get that bag, make their own game, sign your licensing rights away, and get you some extra money like that. But you know what? Ain't nobody gonna buy that shit. Not even the players. I'm sorry, y'all. The black woman is
That's
God,
facts, fam.
but the
No, you good.
WNBA is trash.
No, yes, that's facts, fam.
Oh, I couldn't hold it in no more. I love y'all. Come on, let's come on. Give me some evidence that the black woman is being God now.
All
We
right,
got to
so
give
look.
them some good sound information.
So I got something for you based off what my brother just spoke on. Is you with me?
Mm-hmm.
He spoke on the women warriors, right?
Zulu, not Zulu. I mean Amazon warriors. And then if you notice the Dora Milaje, Black Panthers whole army of personal protectors with nothing but women.
And I'm here to tell you, it's a Toxic Masculinity Show. What episode we on?
20. And it's 2020, 11/11. Go figure.
Toxic Masculinity Show, right? MONEYBOY Trey. Shout out to MONEYBOY Trey in the Toxic Masculinity Show, episode 20. That's a bunch of bullshit. There is no such thing as women warriors. There's no such thing as women warriors, fam.
Have you not been on YouTube and seen all the fights? Some of the fiercest battles I've ever seen is two women duking it out.
Man,
or a field full of women.
I put any trained man against any woman. Period. I don't give a fuck she trained. I don't give a fuck who it is, man. Don't you know our mother's designed? Our mother can lift shit all day. Our mother can lift shit all day and ain't gonna get much stronger. She can just lift and lift and lift. She'll get stronger, but not much. Don't let a man lift and lift all day and then come back the next day and lift all day. This man will turn into what we see as some type of fucking juggernaut. We got to find a name for this nigga. Repetition is your reputation. That is light code. That's light code. Only the men and the males grow like that type of plant because it's a design, it's a fire plant. It's designed to self-combust. It's designed to burn out fast. So it grows fast, it burns out fast. That is your nitro. Women designed that, not that. I mean, they're it in their pure essence, but they designed it as an external manure, excrement, an external thing, something outside of themselves, waste, excrement, exit, exert, express, exhibit. This is creation. It's all about light. Everything. The woman in the creation story, woman doesn't want to live. She doesn't want to be without her man, without her companion, without her slave. She doesn't want to be. Her mind was to morph herself into her opposite self, the duat, therefore creating an expansion of infinity, eternity, all this middle ground. I'm going to create this false sense of extremes of myself and therefore live out in the infinite realm. Everything in between. Read between the lines. So all I'm saying about the women warriors, if we're talking about womb man versus her waste material, womb man doesn't stand a chance. Her waste material is custom designed to fire off and fire out. She is designed to live on. The man is the sacrifice. So her greatest warrior is this dumbfounded, slumpy, clumpy ass duty, my duty, to kill, therefore, AKA / BKA die on her behalf. Thy will be done.
And that is why they're God, because we literally go to jail or get killed protecting them. That's why I said I don't want to hear that them women ain't protecting shit, but just because we're being nice tonight and the black woman is God, I'll allow it. I will allow it. And that's what we do. I want to give women all the positive affirmation that they need.
Now, this one thing I wanted to add in. Everything he just said is the truth. Undeniable truth. It came upon a time where there was mass war. It was a few big wars, where certain countries, okay, it wasn't equal men in every district. Okay. Now this shit, what I'm about to tell y'all, is fucking documented. Literally. Okay. It's a country in South America, like you referred to earlier, the Amazigh. You know what I'm saying? And it stretched all the way up. The same confederation stretched all the way up to California. It came upon a time where it was so much wars and so many battles. A lot of us was deployed. All men deployed. Okay. There were occasions where the enemy attacked on the back. We're fending the front. The back is wide open. The only people to protect the city or even the damn state, the country, the Commonwealth, where these women left. You know what I mean? After we all been deployed, and these women surprised their ass. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, okay, so if I'm adding and I'm commenting on what my brother just said, us men, we represent the density. To see our power, you're gonna also see it in the physical as well. You're gonna see the muscles. You're gonna see the yada yada yada. You're gonna see it. You're gonna tell a nigga is strong. You know what I mean? From a little distance. The woman, they dealt on the spiritual level. Their strength didn't come from their muscle build, their dense muscle, the heaviness. Their strength come from their spirit, literally. You know what I'm saying? They were the first sorcerers, you know what I'm saying, as well. All the sorcery, the magic, the wizardry, you know, that they depended on that. Even when it came to a physical altercation, you know what I'm saying? They depended on their spirituality to overpower your dense bunch of muscles and shit. You had women like that, very recent, you know what I'm saying, dealing on those powers. Um, that's one thing I wanted to comment on. The part that's documented was a battle that happened in the Iberian Peninsula during the times of when the Moors was about to get kicked out of Europe. Well, I have to correct myself again. We never got kicked out of Europe. We retreated. You know what I'm saying? Because we
That's the
retreated,
same thing as getting kicked out.
kind of, sort of. Yet we had another home front to protect. You know what I'm saying? We seen what was going on that continent over there. At the time, we looked at that Africa, Asia, and Europe as one continent at the time. We seen what was going on, what was going down on several fronts when it came to the movement of the Roman Catholics and this new Christianity thing. So we fell back, but during that war, that took a couple of 100 years. But during that war, bro, it was this dude called the Cid. Look it up, y'all. This dude called the Cid. He was one of
Sid Vicious,
SID, the Cid.
Psycho Sid Vicious, blonde hair, had the power bomb.
You talking some WWF shit, man. No, man. The dude was called the Cid. He was fighting against the Moors. He was a brother. He was another brother, and but he was fighting. It was like I said, this shit was a spiritual battle. He was fighting for, you know, the establishment of all cultures. He was trying, you know, at the time he seemed pretty evil. He was um, a vicious killer, vicious leader. But listen, it was some women. It was a women military that came up out of South America that came and fought these motherfuckers in North Africa and Spain, southern Spain. And these women were whooping their ass. You know, it was a particular, like, they, for some reason, they had been without their men. That would happen in the Amazon. A lot of us men got killed off in battle, and it was a bunch of women warriors that was badass, and they got that shit documented that they came out of nowhere on all these boats. You know what I mean? And repped the cause is for what we were fighting for. It's deeper than deep. Y'all can look it up. It's going along with that same Amazon story. They call them the Amazigh, Amazigh. You think they was from Africa, but they really was from South America. Now
From
also,
Brazil.
huh?
Sound like some Brazilian chicks.
Exactly. And then you have documented accounts of cats that came from the Pacific, came up on California talking about the same thing. There was thousands of women, you know what I'm saying, warriors, but then you find out a lot of those men that left that area was fighting in a war closer to the East Coast. Now that was recent, the California shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like 1600s, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had cities and shit over there. We was fighting in a lot of wars at the time. The men was deployed around the country on several different occasions. It was even occasions where we was fighting battles, bro. These motherfuckers will come up and they'll slaughter the women and children, bro. This is recent.
It's
You know what I'm
part.
saying?
It's part of war.
Exactly. So these women had to tap into their ancient abilities. This is, like I said, this is recent. When the shit, as far as the shit, in
They
California.
probably they probably just got killed. We're gonna keep it real. They probably got killed.
Hey, have you watched that Lovecraft shit? You watch
I,
Lovecraft
I don't.
Country?
I have not. I've been hearing people talk about it. Not interested in it.
Yo, episode 6 or 7, and like I say, this shit is documented on some real shit. Episode 6 or 7, it showed she went back in time, and it was a war. It was like the damn Alamo. That's how recent it was. Those times, like around the damn Alamo, some shit. This is in the West Coast, Texas, Nevada area, and they show how all these Confederates was running towards a troop of about 200 women, and how the women was slaughtering their ass. You know what I'm saying? They had the bullets was bouncing on their head. They was dressed like knights with skirts or some shit, bro. You know, and you look that shit up. But it was times where, yeah, our women and children got slaughtered in this recent war. But then there was times where some of these women tapped into that fucking warrior spirit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And looked like the true goddesses they were. Um, and you got that. You got one more thing I want to say. And you can find these pictures. You can find these pictures in the hundreds. You can find hundreds of these pictures if you do your due diligence through Google pictures, Pinterest. Um, Black women breastfeeding white children.
Before
Okay.
you, go ahead.
Okay, look. You do your research on Google Pics, Pinterest. You'll find hundreds of pictures of different black women breastfeeding white children. And it was because of, it was a family thing. Those black women so-called black women was looked at as fairy godmothers, like Mary Poppins. They was brought into they wasn't slaves. They'll come in and bless the house. This is when we was teaching the world how to be civil, how to live, you know what I'm saying, how to clean, bathe, all that shit. It was still going on in recent America, early 1900s, late 1800s. You had these so-called black Mary Poppin godmothers. And look, these so-called white folks, which I look at as family. It's a lot of white folks, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm from the South, and it's a lot, man. I grew up around white boys. We fought a lot, but then it was certain ones, especially ones I played sports with. They mom and daddy treated me like family. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even lie about that shit. I don't want to lie about it. You know what I'm saying? And
Before
back
you
in
hop off question, do you think LeBron James could beat the entire WNBA one-on-one?
hell no.
One-on-one,
WNBA,
LeBron James would go 300-0, man. Come on, keep it 100.
I
Do you
wish,
see
man.
do you see what he did to grown men this year? The best of the best.
I believe LeBron
First
and
of all, none of
AD. Look,
them,
it take AD. If you want to look, it take AD. If you want to beat the whole WNBA, if you want to beat the whole WNBA, he gonna at least need the AD,
I
and they
ain't
might.
say 5-on-1. I said 1-on-1. So he just play every player from each team 1-on-1. He go 1 through 15. Like he can dunk. One thing he can do that none of them can is dunk. And when he put that body on them once or
Bruh,
twice in dunking,
that's no question, bro. That's no question. He'll beat anybody in WNBA 1-on-1. He probably do it all in a
he
day.
would
Look,
put the
Let me get
look,
in.
whole
Let me get in
league.
on this.
he can do it all in a day, bro.
Let me get in on this. We got about 15 minutes before we gotta go, Money Boy. So right,
Okay,
I'm
well,
looking at 9 o'clock, 9:05 type energy. But look,
okay, well, I gotta ask you this then. We gotta get back in on it then. Okay, do you think that
that shit, man.
a woman came from man's rib? Or is it the other way around? Because we know that XX is a woman, and if you break off a ribosome or a rib, that X becomes a Y. So you think it's the other way around, that man came from woman, or woman came from man's rib, as the Bible tries to sell us on?
No, you already know the answer to this. Man came from woman's rib. I mean, man came from woman. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm one of these people that are watching. I've never heard this concept before. I don't know it. Could you explain it, please?
Well, you know, at least because you introduced in the question form that man possibly came from woman's. I mean, that woman possibly came from man's rib. Now that's corny, because here's how it works. This is the algorithm. Create man first, then create woman out of man's rib. Then after that, create all other human beings out of woman's womb. So you only need this first woman out of man's rib. After that, you don't need any more people out of man's rib. We'll go ahead and create the rest of people out of woman's womb. This is corny. Why not just create woman in her womb first and then create everything else after that? All right, so that's very simple common sense. Woman was created first, man was her first creation, and everything else came after that. All right. So just want to be clear on that part. Was there like a second part to your question besides that analogy?
I pretty much wanted you to break down ribosome, the XY.
All right, so XX is the same as the plus sign. The X is the cross, the unilateral cross, not the crucifix, which is slightly offset, if you can follow the language. So listen, the universal cross is just a damn center point. Sin is Zen. 10 is Zen. Sin is centered. It just means you're egotistic. You understand that you are the all. It's up to you. There's a left and a right to the duat. There's a north and a south to the duat. Who's the center point? You, the individual perspective that's been fragmented so that the all can be itself. Everything. It needs your perspective, and guess what? Oh, everybody else's. It needs the killer's perspective, the healer's perspective. It needs the pedophile's perspective, the great mother or father who's the opposite of pedophilia, all about making their child develop into the all. And then you got this pedophilia energy vampire drain. That's the duat. All is good. It's up to you. Did a pedophile invade your life? Handle that. Remember the Old Testament? You know what I'm saying? As above, so below. An eye for an eye. Then they brought the New Testament. Hold up. Jesus said, forgive everything. It got more and more, no disrespect, but Jesus wept, right? AKA homosexual, AKA deviant. You know it ain't right to let somebody kill your daughter, rape your daughter. You were supposed to actually go and kill that man. But,
well, I mean, in all fairness, we all are some bitch ass niggas, because we are X and we are X and Y. We have bitch.
We are the waste material of our mother. That means we're the worst of her. Not only are we
have us too. That's why black women are so manly, because they got a little of that white. They got a little of that Y in them too.
No, see, the Y is just the Y is just a lesser than version of the X. It's just missing something.
Which is us.
Right.
We're the Y.
We are the Y.
So it would be a safe assessment to say, in some sense, we are some bitch ass niggas.
No, we are the bitch ass niggas. See, that's being a bitch ass nigga is simply, if you see, it's all about what side of the coin you're looking at, heads or tails, meaning which is more proper to you. I like heads first, right? And then I go for the tail.
I like head too.
What you say, fam?
I said I like head too.
Yeah, I'm heads first, and then I go for the tail right afterwards. But the point is, which angle are you looking at it? Because it's like there's an honor in being the manure. There's an honor because you're the fertilizer. Without you, there's no cycle of life. And notice I said PSYCHO, you know, or PHSYCHO, whatever the fuck the spelling is. There's no psycho of life. You're the psycho, the lunatic. You're the one infatuated with your assignment, your assessment. Everything starts with ass. You're the ass, right? That's what shits, right? You're the shit. You're the true shit. You're the shit because you're your mother's first creation. The first thing she thought of in the thought realm, where thought is everything. Thought is you.
Thought?
So
Did you just say thought?
Man, we are the thoughts. That hoe over there is us. I ain't never met a woman that's more of a hoe than me.
I already said last night that I am going. So, ladies, if you are looking for someone to cast in your OnlyFans creations, I am available. I will do it for the love of the game, free of charge.
That's why I fuck with you, because you a skillet, as we say. A nigga that know he a thought. Like, what are you talking about? You think you bitches done fuck more hoes than me? I'm the hoe. I'm the king hoe. But you still a little reserved, and I'm trying to break you out of that shell. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's facts. And like, come on.
I have to be reserved. I'm a gentleman.
I'm just saying, I know you don't claim GD, but I'm going to bring that gangster shit up out your ass, nigga.
I'm a gentleman. And a scholar.
Let me say this about Jarrell's women warriors, right? Jarrell's still banging on them women warriors. To me, all he's saying is there were a chosen few, right? 144,000, aka 9 women, nine queens, 9 Netaru or whatnot, 9 there's so many. There's a handful of them. There's a couple of dozen of them, right? What's the damn, apologies for not recalling the names of our set. Candace, just to throw one out there. Candace, right? We know about Callie Ma or Callie.
Candace Owens?
What you say?
You said Candace Owens?
No, fam. I'm talking about Queen Candace.
I fuck with her. Candace Owens sexy as hell to me.
Look up Queen Candace from continental Africa. That's what I'm talking about. You know, so the warrior goddesses, you know what I'm saying? So there was always those scenarios like Jarrell's talking about. The military tactic wasn't always on point, and we got the men on the front line and the women got to defend themselves. That story's always been told. Those were the chosen few, but that was not the masses. You got to understand the power of the masses. The power of the masses is in the rule of one. So anytime you got a ruler who can just wave their hand or wave their finger and people are willing to die for that finger and shit, that's men. You got to understand that power. When you remember in Conan, if you're a fan of Conan, the original Conan with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the barbarian.
Nope.
Well, there's a point where the father of it all was trying to show his power. He was like, "Look, my power is easy." Look, he just motioned towards one of his slaves to jump off a cliff, and the slave jumped off a cliff just off the motion, like, "Here you go," and killed themselves. He was like, that's true power. He used to be fascinated with the power of steel, as he called it. The power of steel, metal, iron sharpening iron. But he was trying to show his sons, his grown son, this is the true power. Watch this. Look, my child, he went like that. My child, come to me. And in order for the child to come to them, they had to like walk off a cliff. And they just walked off a cliff blindly and killed themselves. That's Conan the Barbarian, the original one, like came out in like 83. Look it up. Old boy played the father. Damn, old school joint. Elmos or one of them motherfuckers. James Earl Jones. So, fam, I'm trying to tell you that the true power is all in the mind. which is closer to the thought realm. Manifestation, material, matter, dense material, flesh, is closer to the sound realm, sound vibration, which is what created everything, right? Let there be light. But the original thought was light.
Light-skinned women.
Hear me on this. The original thought was light. The original thought was light. Light would soon become a sound, and sound would soon become matter. The original thought was light. Light is the closest thing to your original self, which is mother, womb, darkness, triple blackness, your original self. Light is the closest to that because it's the first creation, so it's the opposite in order to form the duat. So light seems bright and dark seems dark.
Expound on the breast milk and the importance of Black women breastfeeding their kids, because it's not really a popular thing in the community. And I'm knowing this from having 4 kids. It's not a popular thing.
If you're gonna switch it to something like that, breast milk.
Well, he brought it up before he hopped off.
My fault.
Talking about there were pictures of and we know historically mammoths used to breastfeed
milk. See, that's wild that you say that. Now I'm glad you said he brought that up. Breast milk is actually something that's deep. Breast milk is something that's custom designed for the child that just came out the womb. So that's like a recipe that has no other design but for the child that just came out the womb. A woman can't even, like, let's just say that woman that you seen in the pictures that was breastfeeding. She can't breastfeed unless she just had a child. Ain't no milk in there. You think a woman just walking around with milk in there? No, it's all biological. It's all scientific. It all makes sense. As above, so below. So the only time a woman actually has milk in there for service to come out is if she just had a child and she got about a year or less, and that milk gonna go away. So let's say you see a Black woman back in the day feeding babies to a white woman. I mean, a white child. That means that Black woman just had a child herself. So she got the milk in there for her own child, and therefore she's feeding additional children as well. That's possible. That's facts. So she's feeding the additional children. It just so happens that those additional children are the children of her slave master, right? These white children. Yeah, because they saw that as like superpower, super milk, super food, as we would call it nowadays in any type of plant life or extract.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's superfood because it's filled with all those organic nutrients that you can't get anywhere else. The only way you can get them is in what would be seen as a synthetic form of trying to get the same concepts out of plant life. But plant life is the first external form of our mother in that form of density, that angle of light. The highest form of herself is obviously man. Man is her first shape shift. This is when you get to all is one, when you get to understanding that man is actually woman. There is no separation, but that's even deeper. Plants are actually women. There is no separation. It's female. It's everything is mama. There is no separation, but that's a deeper level. These are external expressions of oneself. Who is the original self? Mother, womb, all, everything. So what are we men? Her first thought. And we are not just her first thought. She thought of herself in an extreme form. She thought of herself in the opposite. The duat. The duat creates infinity in between. There is no infinity without an in between the lines. You get a left and a right, and everything in between creates an infinity because you can't quite capture it all. The duat represents infinity. You could say north and south. It's the same concept. See, all you now is saying that you're creating the duat in a circular motion, manifestation. It goes on forever. You can never capture it all. Like, this is an easy concept for me. I want to express it in a way, articulate it in a way that resonates to where everybody captures it from that common sense perspective. To know infinity is to know the medium, the middle ground, the universe, fairness, justice. Fuck it. I get it. You like it that way, but I like it this way. I judge me, you judge you. See, this is what society has us running from, because society's captured it all on our behalf, custodial parenting, and will literally dictate us throughout our whole life force. Like, hold on, we'd be 60 years old and still be a child to a mechanism, a system. This is some bullshit, so it gets deep. So I'm just being fair, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna go too crazy on y'all. This is infinity and beyond, right? To infinity and beyond. But if all is one, then we know one is ma, one is ma, one is none. The sum of all things is no thing at all. That's the riddle. The sum of all things is no thing at all. You know what I mean? So that's the math. That's the myotics. That's you in your most fair assessment. Evil is good is another way of saying it. The next man's evil is your good. Like you said, nah, ma, I love you, but I can't let you slap me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You at least got to go to your room. You know what I'm saying? For something. You can't take that away from MONEYBOY Trey and the Toxic Masculinity Show. There's a certain level where Jarrell knows, no, fuck you. I know for a fact women became elite because the men were all gone. They were on duty, being shitted on, and you know what I'm saying, in that realm, and loving it.
Well, that happened here during the World War. That happened here during the wars.
What you say, pal?
That happened here in the States during the wars. When all the men were at war, all the women's manned the factory.
And they was busting shots too. Facts.
And I do want to chime in on the magic of women, right? The magic of women. So let's talk about the breast milk thing. The woman can start lactating even if she hasn't ever been pregnant before. If she's of the age and she's around breast children, babies who needs to be breastfed, they don't even have to be there. They don't even have to be her children. You know what I mean? Her hormones, just being around those children who needs breast milk, she'll start producing breast milk within 24 hours type shit. You know what I mean? You know, so you can look that up. There's women who be lactating around the clock. They sell their breast milk. You can look up some stories on that tip where they sell their breast milk.
Well, the hospitals allow women to donate breast milk where they pumping so much that they got extra there. So the hospitals do
it. Exactly. But even though today you don't see as many cases as back in the day because of a lot of different scenarios, you know, nutrition, their diet, you don't see as many women doing that as back in the day. But back in the day, so-called black women used to be the prime, you know, candidates for lactating without having any children, without, you know, being pregnant or whatever. Outside of them being pregnant, they'll still lactate if they're around children who's demanding or needing that. You know what I mean? Just being in their presence. And then also, like I said, the magic of women is that one thing called parthenogenesis, which not too many people believe in, but there's been an independent study that women, one in 200, they say, it's kind of hard to believe, worldwide, 1 in 200 women, you know what I'm saying, can produce a child without having sex.
Asexual reproduction.
Parthenogenesis. They even got the word Genesis in that motherfucker. Parthenogenesis. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, 1 in 200 cases. You know, they did a study of like 8,000 women, and they found that out. So it's like their magic is they'll adapt. If they created us, of course they have the ability to have children without sex. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's not the ideal programming, they programmed this reality for that. It still can happen. You know what I mean? Because of that's what it comes from. That's the beginning. So of course you're gonna see that every now and then. Just like how you see tall motherfuckers every now and then. You know, we watch the NBA every day. We desensitized to how tall these motherfuckers are. But all that is evidence of we once was taller than what we are right now on a natural basis. You know, we used to be 10 feet, 10, 12 feet because we had more trees. We had way more trees and it was much taller.
Are you talking about the Nephilim, or are you talking about David and Goliath?
I'm talking about regular niggas, bro. It's my regular niggas. The regular niggas used to be 10 to 15 feet. The giants, what we call giants, we talking about 25, 30 feet motherfuckers, bro. 25, 36 feet motherfuckers. Those are the giants. But we still used to be taller than what we are now, you know what I'm saying, because of the amount of oxygen, the abundance of oxygen we had on this earth, you know, due to the trees being so colossal trees, and way more trees than we had now. So not only us, but the animals. Bruh, no bullshit. You go on the internet right now, you can see a moose, bruh. You can see a moose, bruh, damn near 13 foot tall, bruh. A moose.
My edible just kicked in, so I'm intrigued. Continue, but
You can find evidence of a moose about 15 feet tall. Look,
how you know it's no shot?
Bro, that shit real, bro. It was standing right next to a car. Look.
You know it ain't Photoshop? You know niggas is cold.
I'm pretty. I know.
They faked the moon landing in the '60s. You don't think they can Photoshop a move in 2020?
It's all about sense. It's all about when it comes to Photoshop. It's about the nearest moving object in the video screen. The object, it has to be a very close object moving in the video screen, and you need to see somebody put their hand on it or something like that. That's better. If you see somebody put their hand on it, it's even better. But
they
bruh,
made King Kong movies back in the day where it looked like he was destroying cities. It's called.
I'm telling you, I'm about to shut it down. This is the last thing I want to say. Motherfucking I said the moose right now. Oh yeah, though. Have you seen a real wolf, boss? Have you seen a real wolf? A real wolf? A real wolf? Bro, look. A real wolf. Just a real wolf. We think we know what a wolf look like. Bruh. This wolf is bigger than a lion, my nigga. It's about the size of a big ass lion. You know what I'm saying? You think my bad, I take that back. It's bigger than a fucking lion. It's bigger than a fucking lion. You know, they got pictures in America, bro.
So what is the things that we think are wolves?
Dogs, fucking canines, a wild look. What we think a wolf is a wild dog.
I know Anthony Towns is a timber wolf. I know Kevin Garnett was a legendary timber wolf.
Bro, they got a wolf. Dog, it's wolves out here, bro. You can tell they from the old world, my nigga. So all I'm saying is this. Of course, things that we see now are much rarer than what they used to be. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you would see more of a lot of the most strangest things we will see today, including our height, including our abilities. But the biggest thing is the woman's ability to do several things. You know what I'm saying? and they're doing it right now. You know,
Such as
even though we don't see it, it's still woman on this earth giving virgin births, even though we don't see it as much. You know what I'm saying? Women
like Mary of Magdalene.
like fucking Mary of the damn Bible, bro. But like I said, I'm over here, bro, man. We're gonna start building on. We gotta have a social media meeting, bro, on some social media strategies, and we
It's
gotta
all
shut.
good. It's all
Yeah,
good. I appreciate having you, gentlemen.
yes, sir. We're going back into the old ways of how we used to think, the most advanced understanding of this realm we live on, and this is just one piece of many things to get us reintroduced back into nature, Mother Nature. So I appreciate you having me on, fam. For real.
No problem. Anytime.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in to the Toxic Masculinity Show. I am your host, MONEYBOY Trey. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment to this video. If you like what you hear, you are entertained. It's a link in the description box for PayPal, Cash App. Hit that sucker if you must. I'm high as shit, and apparently Major Keys was too. Talking about a 13-foot bullwinkle, but you know, that's how it goes on Toxic Masculinity, man. We get off topic and we go down rabbit holes, and it is what it is. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm out. Peace.
Money boy, trade. Money boy, trade.
Private jet flights overseas.